Welcome to The Wall. In today's video, we'll watch a viral clip where a woman says, "To my ex who lured me out of a great marriage and then got me and then cheated on me." Today, we're going to listen to her full story and analyze how life ended up making her pay for betraying the man who truly built a life with her. If you enjoy this content, leave a like and subscribe. We're on our way to 150,000 subscribers, and with your support, we're going to smash that goal. Drop your experience or opinion about these kinds of situations in the comments. And without further introduction, let's get started.
Lured me out of a great marriage is an insane way to say that you cheated on your husband. That's like shooting somebody and being like, "God, you stole my bullet with your face." And then to be shocked that that dude cheated on you later is insane. It's like, oh, no, I thought you would just cheat for me, not on me. It's like, what do you think, you're special? I know you're lying though, because if you were like, oh, out of a great marriage, it's like it couldn't have been a great marriage if you were in it.
Okay, so I just want to ask this question. Can somebody tell me, how do you get lured out of a great marriage? I just need somebody to answer me that question. Riddle me that, Batman. How can you get lured out of a great marriage? Because if that marriage is great, there ain't no other person on this planet that mean a fucking single thing to me. Not at all. Meaning, if I'm in a great marriage, my wife is my everything. Not everything. Everything, okay? Move, Jezebel. Move, you scallywag. Move, you hoe. Get out my face. My wife is right there. And my wife will shoot you. And keep it moving. Ain't no, you're not finna sit there and try and gaslight us saying, oh, he lured you out of a great marriage and then cheated on you with somebody else. No, you don't get lured out of a great marriage. You were ready to go and you look for any excuse to leave. And now you got that excuse to leave. Now you're not happy because he cheated on you. Good for him. I got that funny feeling that her husband probably put an X up to it. And she just fell for a hook, line, and sinker. Like a big mouth bass. You see how she look like a big mouth bass on that hook at the lake. Nah, I don't feel sorry for her one single solitary bit. She knew what she was doing. Mm-mm. Accountability is a dress that so many women would never wear. Mm-mm. That ex made your ass giggle just to make them cheeks wiggle. Mm-mm-mm. Try to play victim. Get out of here, scallywag.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
No one cheats because they were forced to. Man or woman, the one who betrays does it because they want it, period. That whole "they pulled me out of a great marriage" line is just a cheap excuse to justify a decision you had already made. It wasn't the other person's fault, it was your choice. Don't try to dress up a betrayal like you're some kind of victim of fate. The truth is, with so much cheap dopamine, likes, validation on social media, flirty inbox messages, many end up confusing stability with boredom. A healthy marriage, with routine and commitment, is no longer appreciated. These days, everyone's busy checking if the grass is greener on the other side, without even taking the time to water their own lawn. But of course, there's no accountability, because responsibility is kryptonite for women.
One thing I like about these I'm nothing like you, and I never will be.
I think the song choice is interesting because you act as if that man is the only one who's a cheater. Honey, you cheat on your husband too. You act as if this man hogtied and dragged you out of your happy marriage. No, you went willingly. That's what it looks like when someone refuses to take responsibility and accountability for their own actions. Nobody made you cheat. You wanted to. None of this happened to you. This happened with you, meaning you were an active participant in exactly where you are. You thought you were different. You thought the grass was greener on the other side, but the truth is the grass is greener where you water it. Your marriage was already a good marriage, but you thought you could find better. That man taught you a valuable lesson, and that is if a man will cheat with you, he will cheat on you. You were asking the shirtless man for the shirt off his back. You're asking a cheater for faithfulness. He's allergic to faithfulness, and apparently it's contagious because you're allergic to it too. The fact that you seem like you genuinely believe that you're better than this man is amazing to me because all he did was pull a you on you. There's only one victim in this story, and it's not you.
It's funny because it's true.
This has gotten so out of control that not even feminists can stand it anymore. Something you learn as a man over the years is that when you're alone, you're invisible. But the moment you have a good woman by your side, suddenly your ex shows up, the neighbor, the one who used to ignore you. All of them. Not because they care about you, but because they want to ruin what you've built. And that's exactly what happened here. This woman married a man who gave her stability, a home, and probably the life she used to say she dreamed of. But she had just come out of a relationship with a Chad who had her on an emotional roller coaster. The new guy, a stable provider, gave her peace. And like it often happens, she mistook stability for boredom. Like I always say, if you pick up a frog from the street, no matter how many times you kiss it, it won't turn into a princess. It'll stay a frog from the street. And now karma has arrived. Because what you did to someone else did to you. You asked for loyalty from a disloyal man, thinking you'd be the exception. But now she's out there trying to defend herself and tell her side of the story.
So I think I need to respond to this post, and thank you, Riley, for bringing up. I need a story time because I think it needs a story because I'm sick of explaining it. So I got pregnant when I was 19 years old, okay? And my mom was like, "You're getting married." Actually, yeah. No, I gave birth when I was 19. So I was like 18-ish when I was pregnant. So my mom like forced it upon me. She was like, "You're not going to be one of those mothers who are not married and you're on your own on welfare," because she worked for the welfare department. So she was like, "My daughter's not going to be one of them. I deal with that on the daily and you are going to get married." Now, we loved each other. Yes, we were madly in love. We were high school sweethearts. Yeah. So we were just pregnant. We moved in. My mom's like, "You're getting married." So we got married. I was 5 months pregnant when I walked down the aisle. Everyone, it was the talk of the town when a big family, "Oh my God, she's pregnant. Oh my God." That's why my mom's like, "You're getting married. She's not going to be made fun of because her daughter had a baby out of wedlock." And I was just like, okay, whatever. I went with it. I went with it. I was 19. What the fuck was I going to do? And I loved him, like, madly. We were crazy in love with each other. That's why it was a good marriage. We were best friends. So when we got married, he became a bricklayer, okay? So it was a great job in Detroit, and for a long time, I mean, he was building all the buildings downtown, everything like that. We bought a house. We were the only people out of our friends who had a house. Everybody came to our house. It was the party house. We really had a good time. It was a great marriage. It was a great, happy family. Then he started getting laid off all the time because the economy just wasn't what it was. Like, shortly after we got married, I mean, it was like every winter he would get laid off. Every winter, because you can't lay bricks. You can't lay concrete. It's got to be a certain temperature. You know what I mean? So we struggled. We lived paycheck to paycheck every day of our lives. There were always single men all around. All the time there were single men. Every time there was guys that lived across the street. They always flirted. There was always alcohol involved. Everybody was always drinking. Like I said, our house was the party house. So I never did anything, but then there were times like, and I just don't even know. Like, I just don't, that's a whole nother video. We're going to cut that out and that'll be another video.
Oh, hell no!
I said it before, and I'll say it again. Cheap dopamine is wreaking havoc. This woman showed signs of disaster from a young age. She said it herself. She got married young, had a good man, a home, but she didn't want to take responsibility. She didn't want to be a mother. She wanted to keep living life without limits, without being accountable to anyone. And of course, there were always men around. Parties, alcohol, constant flirting. At first, according to her, nothing happened. But then, there were moments. We all know what that means. When you live chasing excitement instead of valuing what you have, it's only a matter of time before everything falls apart. Anyway, let's see how this story continues.
I didn't know what it meant to take vows, you guys. I was 19 and I probably was ready to pass out from lack of oxygen because I was standing in a church full of everybody there for me and 5 months pregnant, which I hated my pregnancy. I was miserable. I was not the girl who dreamt of getting married and walking down the aisle. No, I want to run the beach and be free and lay in the sun. That's it. No, I don't want to do anything like family. I don't know. I didn't want to do that. I mean, it wasn't my dream. I did it. And I played face for a long time. So he's always laid off. I have to, like, I'm not educated, so I got to go get educated, right? Like, I always waitress at night. So my husband at the time would go to work bricklaying during the day. Well, that's how it was during the day in the beginning. And then I would go at night when he got home. I would cook dinner and everything. As soon as he would come home, we would switch. and he would stay there with the baby at night, and I would go waitress, and then I'd come home. That went on for a while. Then, like I said, he started getting laid off, so then somebody had to go to work. So time for mama to step up to the plate. So I did. I was like, yeah, bitch, I'm ready. I'm ready to get the fuck out of this house. But then I was going to school. I was working at a hospital, working at the hospital, clinical hours at the hospital, and bartending at the same time. And he was just staying home, which is fine. We were a team, but I started losing respect. He started, we just really, hey, the dog always wants to drink my coffee. Benny. He's my new man now. That's what I live. I don't have a man. Okay. I live with no man. This is my man. They rule my world. We just broke apart. It was getting bad. And I had resentment. And there was this guy at my new job who would not stop flirting with me. And he was tall, dark, and handsome. And he said all the right things. And it was the new job I was getting into. And he was like the best at that job. And I just watched him and learned from him every day. And I just was enamored by him. And he never left me alone every day. He just was a talker. My phone was blowing up. He never stopped. It was irresistible. It became irresistible. I was pushing him off of me. But then we went out, all of us as a group, and we drank. And when alcohol's involved, it's not good. That's why I don't drink anymore. Literally the beginning of the end. I think weeks later, my ex-husband found his receipt in my vehicle and asked who he was. And I think that also he may have started to go into Verizon and start looking at the hundreds and hundreds of text messages that were going on each day between me and the dude. He forgives me. What? He forgive me.
Hell to the no, no. Hell no.
Honestly, the dog kissing her on the mouth was the one detail nobody asked for. But let's get to what really matters. This story confirms what many of us already know. You can be the man who gives it all, who provides for the household, who sacrifices his nights so she can grow. But if things go south financially, you lose the respect of the one who should support you the most. To her, you're no longer a man, you're a burden. And that's why so many men live under constant pressure. They know that if they fall, they'll be left alone. And the usual story follows. Suddenly, there's that coworker who coincidentally says all the things she wants to hear. And since she spends so much time with him, he ends up getting in her head. That line, nothing ever happened, but then there were moments. We've heard it before. The guy didn't find one message, he found hundreds. And she doesn't even show real remorse. She just let herself go until she destroyed what they had built together. But now, let's see what happened to her husband in the end.
So in that time, I literally, like I said, it was the beginning of the end, and I broke down, and it was a very quick downward spiral. I'm lucky that I made it out, never losing my job or, also graduating and just getting through all of the stuff that I got through because I was in utter turmoil the entire time. I got divorced and then I moved in with the dude. My son didn't want to live with him. I mean, it was just a whole horrible thing. My son just dropped out of school. It was just everything went bad when I got divorced and I should never have. And I was just delusional the whole time. I was completely delusional. I drank so much alcohol. I could not make decisions properly. My family would not interact with me anymore because I was making such wrong decisions. Nobody liked the guy that I was dating. So I had no support. They were just shocked that I left my ex. It's good times, Good times. Good fucking times. No, it was the worst of times, and I don't know how I made it out. It was the grace of God that I made it all out alive. And now I'm way on the other side, and it's crazy because the boyfriend, the guy that I left my husband for, he still literally tries. I literally still had to just block him because he still tries to come into my life. And he lived with a girl. So this is how I know that that's why I can make this fucking video, okay? And say, one thing about me is that I know that I'm never like you. Okay, that's what the fucking video is. Why is everyone flipping out over the video? I went into the comments and they hide these comments, and I approved all of these because I want them to be seen. I want all these comments to be seen. I take accountability. If you look in my follow me or anything, I have a series called Hard Life Lessons Learned. And that's one of them. The grass is not greener on the other side. I've lived and learned. I have learned. Okay, people, I'm not a narcissist. I live alone, and mostly because I decide to, and I'm an isolator. I don't like to be around others, but I don't like to date. I don't know. I am alone. So that's what I get, and it is lonely and sad. But what hurt the most out of all of that was my son. And that's why I would have stayed. Okay. Because mothers should, you should give of yourself for your children. And I was only thinking of myself. I was very selfish and drunk and stupid. But now I'm on the other side. Now I'm getting emotional, but there you go, Riley. That's the story.
We could have been a good couple. We could have had something special. But you one crazy ass bitch.
This just reinforces what I always say. When someone cheats on you, don't seek revenge. Just move on, because life always finds a way to settle the score. She said it in her own words. She ruined her life, her relationship with her son, her family, her stability, all because of a decision driven by dopamine and ego. Meanwhile, imagine what that man must have felt, going through a financial crisis, watching his wife betray him, and seeing his whole world fall apart. And the hardest part? While he was losing everything, she was moving in with the other guy, the same one neither her son nor her family wanted anywhere near. But that's how it goes. To the men going through something like this, focus on yourselves. Because time, sooner or later, makes everyone pay what they owe. Now she lives alone, says she doesn't like being with anyone, and worst of all, admits that her son was the one who suffered the most. Brother, like I once said, karma's a bitch, and it charges interest. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. What do you think about this woman's story? Do you think she deserved everything that happened to her after cheating on her husband? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from the wall.